I'm Pastor Tyrell Bramwell, and this is a Canceled Christian Comment. Now, there are a lot of lies being spread out there about the cancellation of the all-ages drag show that was scheduled to take place at the Old Steeple in February. When the owners of the Old Steeple canceled the all-ages drag show they were helping to bring to Ferndale, their stated reason was safety.
This seems like it's not a safe thing for our family, our business, our community.
It wasn't because they thought better of sexualizing Ferndale's children or about warping our kids' vulnerable minds by exposing them to so-called entertainment for adults, traditionally indulged in by gay men and others struggling with sexual perversions. Their concern, as stated, was their safety, as to be expected. After all, we live in a time characterized on one hand by safetyism and on the other, selfishness. That aside, they had a concern, and they acted accordingly. No one can take issue with that. What I can take issue with, what I do take issue with, is any accusation that St. Mark's is to blame for their perceived fear of potential danger, be it from bummed-out leftists or quietists in Ferndale who think I'm stirring up a mess in our city. We are not. I am not to blame for the tension in town because I'm concerned about a danger to my neighbors and am acting accordingly. What is that old saying? The only thing necessary for evil to triumph in this world is for good men to do nothing. Despite what agitators may say, faithful Christians care about the well-being of our neighbors. Those we know personally, such as the Old Steeple owners. I know Paul and Sherry personally. And any number of those, we don't know. Like a whole host of residents in town who were at risk of being led into sin by the now canceled drag show. I care about all of them. The members of St. Mark's care about all of them. Ryan Burns reported that in an email statement, Beatty and March told the Outpost that they made the painful decision to cancel the event out of an abundance of caution, after being alerted to online blowback. Friends and customers reached out to us regarding threatening Facebook messages that pointed to the possibility of extremists attending the event to disrupt it. Asked for specifics or screenshots, they said the post in question had been deleted. In a follow-up call, Beatty said he'd been alerted to a comment on Facebook asking for the names and addresses of organizers. We flagged that post, and it was removed, he said. Now, I know for a fact Miss March's fears are real. I also know from personal experience that when you have serious concerns of this nature, you grab screenshots of threatening statements and save harassing messages. However, in our current cultural economy of victimhood, evidence isn't necessary, is it? See, had a reporter asked me if I had concerns regarding my safety or the safety of my family, I could say yes. And if asked if I had any specifics or screenshots to validate my concern, I would actually be able to provide images like these, which are of a threatening and harassing nature.
You guys should probably change that sign, and if you don't, there's going to be probably a big community outlash.
Fucking kick rap, asshole.
I saw your sign up front, and I just want you to know that your sky fairies aren't fucking going to do anything for you.
I'm a patient man, but when you begin to do things like this, all my patience wears thin.
If you do think that this is not a big deal and not something to be talked to about or spoken with, you were sorely mistaken. Maybe I'll come down on a Sunday and speak with someone directly, because this hate cannot be spread. You fucking homophobic asshole. Take your bigoted awful sign down.
But you see, on this side of things, we're not asked those questions. Despite the fact that St. Mark's has actually, not potentially, actually lived through the actions of extremists who have broken numerous laws in order to intimidate us. And that gets to the point. The Christians at St. Mark Lutheran Church in Ferndale care so much about the well-being of our neighbors. Our own safety doesn't matter. We're not so selfish as to put ourselves before our neighbors, those we know, and even those we don't. We're willing to stand up and engage the evil around us, even if it means I'm taken out or my house is burned down. I will continue to stand up to evil for the sake of my neighbors, even if it means I myself must forfeit my eternal inheritance in Christ. Now, I'm Pastor Tyrell Bramwell, and this has been the Canceled Christian Comment.